I'm Eric Engelbert with Orange County Real Estate, and today we're just going to talk about real estate market and what's going on in the news. We all know the news about inventory increasing. We've had really low inventory for such a long time. It's nice to hear that inventory is coming up a little bit. You can see in the first slide that that's happened this year so far. That's great, nothing new. The next slide shows the median sales price in Orange County for both homes and condos. Nothing new there. We know that prices have been skyrocketing for 2.5 years. In Orange County, single-family homes have reached $1.3 million for the median sales price, and condos and townhomes have reached $750,000. So just so you have a number attached to what that means. So the next slide, anyways, is where we get into some interesting tidbits. So first of all, on the first line, we have the current homes for sale, which is 2,277. That's single family homes. The next lines is condos and townhomes. There we have 946 of those for sale. The next line are homes that are under contract or pending, which means they've accepted an offer. So that's 2,330. The next line is days on market, and that is 16. Now that number is a very low number. That is the amount of time that a home is on the MLS before it accepts an offer. And 16 is a very low number, and that tells us that the market is still very strong. It's a seller's market. There's probably still a lot of buyer competition. Excuse me, not probably. I know that there is a lot of buyer competition still, and that number reflects that fact. The other line, or the next line that also reflects that fact, is the sold price versus the list price. And the sold price is 4.4% higher than the list price, which means there's probably multiple offers. People are bidding up the price a bit to compete and get their offer accepted. The next line is about immediate sales. So this is homes that were listed and then had accepted an offer within the first 2 days of being on the market. That's considered an immediate sale. In Orange County, 2%, it fluctuates quite a bit from week to week, so 2% doesn't seem like a big number, but the 16 days on market is a very low number and reflective of a strong seller's market. The immediate sales in the entire United States, however, is 27%. Now that's a much greater number, but the reality is it's a little bit lower than what it's been. The last 2.5 years, that number has been 35%. So it's starting to drop a little bit, which is a sign that we're going to follow and see if this becomes a trend. I think Orange County is always in a little bit of a bubble because there's always so much demand to live in Orange County. So things might happen in the entire United States first. That's why we watch trends for the United States to see what Orange County has in store for it. The next line is the price reductions, and price reductions in Orange County is less than 2%. So that's when a home's on the market, not selling, people lower the price. And it's less than 2% here in Orange County. And the reason is because we still have so much buyer demand, and homes are selling for 4.4% higher than the list price. So that tells you it's a very strong market. Now, price reductions in the entire US is 25%, which is a pretty big number. But during the pandemic, that number was below 20%. And before the pandemic, it was very common for that number to be 33%. So that has started to go up a little bit. Another sign that the market in the entire US is weakening slightly. Some of the other things that could cause that are just the summer months, like the start of the summer, there's less sales, kids are getting out of school, kids are graduating from college, there's trips happening, people aren't really moving. It's normal over the history of sales that there's a little bit of slowdown in the first part of the summer. So that's another thing that could account for some of this. But the big thing and the big factor is the last line, and that's the 30-year fixed rate at 5.23%. That is definitely a big factor, and that's going to affect buyers all over the country and is affecting them. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing these numbers and seeing a little bit of slowdown in the United States. Um, the rates in January of this year were 3.23, so 2% less. So if you're buying a $1.5 million house in Orange County, putting down 20%, your payment difference between January and now is about $1,400. So affordability is very different for buyers, and that's affecting some decision making. In Orange County, it hasn't affected the prices yet, so we'll see. It looks like that's starting to happen in the United States, so we'll see if that trend continues and if it affects the United States. I'm Eric Engelbert with Orange County Real Estate, so thank you very much for watching, and if you guys have any questions or concerns, reach out anytime, and I'll keep an eye on trends in the United States, and when I see something, I will post it. All right, have a great week.